And she survived and everything, but she didn't get any media attention or anything. And then, you know, publications just ran with the fact that J-Lo said Shine did it, and that was enough. Shine was guilty. He was off. He was off to jail. But even to this day, Nataya Rubin is like, you need to reopen the case. I'm right here. You know? And she had her surgery and everything. And I mean, to a certain degree, I watched her. She did an interview recently, and you can't really tell, but she says she lives with that pain because there are fragments that they couldn't get out, right? And she's like, he need to reopen the case. I want justice, you know? And the journalist asked her, would you be willing to give one of the fragments and, like, you know, do the forensic test and everything, because they didn't do one apparently. And she said, yeah, of course. I got 9 fragments. I can spare one.
Jesus Christ.
The thing that did Diddy in, you know, really, truly, from his own nature, from his own core, were money, power, and fame, right? And money, power, and fame is a dangerous combination. Messes up a lot of people. Money, because, guys, money. This is what trajectory of money does in the mind. When you have no money and you just imagine having some money, that's even enough money.
Yeah.
When you have no money and you're like, man, it'd be nice to eat. That's the money for the meal in front of you is all you need in your mind. You know, it's why people who are desperate, truly desperate, walk up to you and they don't ask for everything that they need. They ask for what they need to get by. They ask for change. They ask for the next thing that they need. Because money changes perspective. As the more of it that you get, the more you become not necessarily an insane person.
Yeah, you do.
But your ideas, your wants and needs, they start to shift. And they usually, at a certain amount of money, leave Earth. Why do you think all the billionaires are trying to go to space? They're like, I did it all. I did everything here. What's up there? Can I own that? That'd be nice. Yeah. Money messes with your mind. And then sometimes you think, man, if I had enough money for this thing, oh, I'd be so good. I'd be so benevolent. And maybe you would. But maybe you wouldn't. Maybe having that money and getting attached to it would attach you to it so tight that now I don't really want to have less than. Yeah. I don't know anyone working in America that's willing to get paid less.
Yeah.
You know, we all have, and some of it's just human nature. We all have a little upward mobility, thinking about what's next, thinking about how we can build up. That, I'm not saying that's wrong at all. I'm saying at a certain amount of money, you just lose your mind. You know? And then power. Money and power, they get people to do some of the same things. Money, I'll give you an example. I was in Vietnam a little while ago, right? And really? The Vietnamese dong, which is their currency, right? One of our dollars is about, at least at the going rate right now, currency exchange-wise, is about 24,200 dong.
Wow.
So if you go there with your yearly salary, you are a billionaire in dong. And we look at our billionaires a certain type of way. We look at them as like, why is this piece of shit hoarding all this wealth? Is he out of his mind? Does he not know how many people he could help? This is crazy. It's billions and billions of dollars. And then you talk to a billionaire and they're like, oh yeah, well, I had this idea of how we could like get to space and stuff, so I'll just do that. It's like, we're dying. Why would you? No one cares about space. Why are you hoarding all of it? And then you hear, even in like a billionaire's, I listen to the audiobook because I don't like to read about... I want to know a billionaire's life, but to read it and learn it all slow feels upsetting. I'm just like, let me just let someone tell me so I can feel like I'm talking to a friend, like, what? You know what I mean? Like, that's a little bit smoother of a process.
I understand.
But you talk about, you know, like a billionaire, And the way that they think about us is insane. There are even billionaires that they've said it. Different billionaires are different levels of like loose-lipped. And there are billionaires that have properly said to a camera that they knew was recording. If people knew how good my life was, they would bring back the guillotine.
Whoa.
That's what he said.
But still, that's crazy.
And then you hear other billionaires tell it, and they're like, well, you know, if people are too dumb or too lazy or too scared to take the chances to make money, that's on them. The way that they think about us is insane.
Like, it's like, I get what he is saying, and it's unfortunate how some people, some countries, like, they live in a certain situation where they can't really go up, and then the value of our dollars is like different from what they are living in. But right at the same time, it's just like that. That's why I don't understand how people can say that America, it's a really bad place. It's not perfect. Yes, I do understand, but you gotta be grateful at the times of what you have over here. Like, yes, it's cool to be the police of the world, but right at the same time, it's like, it's not our job to help them out. Now, it sounds harsh. I get it. I do. But as far as like me as a father and a husband and a provider, I just cannot do that in a certain way. Now, I know it sounds crazy and it's harsh. I do get that, but I got to take care of my own family. And it's not my sole purpose or job trying to, you know, send out money and such. Now, I do get people actually need the help, but I need to take care of my own household first before I help anyone else. Again, I know it sounds harsh, but that's literally how I feel.
Lazy or too scared to take the chances to make money, that's on them. The way that they think about us is insane. But then you see an American, a Brit, maybe somebody from Australia, go to Vietnam and be a billionaire, and it is harrowing how many people turn into our billionaires there. I watched it. I was in a market, right? And there was this British lady that was trying to haggle with this woman who had made this like homemade, like knitted little bag, right? And she was charging like, I don't know, maybe like 5,000 dong for it. Now remember, I told you $1 was 24,000 dong. And this British lady is actually like haggling with her. Like being like, what about 4,000? She's like, no, it's 5. It's like, what about 475? No, 5. And she doesn't know much English, and the British lady's getting annoyed with her, and I'm getting furious because I'm like, you realize the pound is doing better than the dollar, so you're just haggling like, what if I gave you nothing? Would nothing be good? What about nothing? You would love nothing, though. Like, if I gave you nothing, that'd make me feel better as I left. And this person is a billionaire, at least right now. You can tell that they're broke in Britain, though. Like, only a broke person would go somewhere else and then try to be rich really hard. Like, that's...
Yeah, literally. Because a pound is worth...
I don't know why you front. You know you could only afford the flight. I don't know why you acting like this right now. Acting like these people are trying to cheat you out of something. You know you already have a leg up. It's crazy, but it...
Shoot, like, I actually give, like, at least like, 39 pounds to I at least give like 39 pounds to the person who creates my shorts, and then like that's even like a lot to a certain extent. But for you to like try to like be so stingy about that, like that's just insane, in my opinion.
It is how billionaires think sometimes, because then when we work at a corporation that's $1 billion, maybe even you work at Apple, Amazon, you work at one of the truly big ones that's about to hit the trillions of dollars, right? And then you want a raise, and you want a substantial raise, and it's nothing for them because they have billions of dollars, and they're still like, why should we give you anything?
An ad. Here we go.
It's the same mentality, right? And so Diddy had money, and he had the type of money that makes people do things, bend to your will and everything. And so he bent it, and he had power. And this is the thing about power. I'm someone who wants very little power. Because I don't know, I can think about what I might do, but I don't know what I would do with power. That's terrifying. Don't give me power. If I had the power to make Ted Cruz punch himself in the balls.
Right. And he's an insane person for real.
Whether it was like X-Men mind control or if I just had enough money that he would do it. Like, if I could make Ted Cruz punch himself in the balls non-stop, his balls would never rest. I would go overboard with my power.
Right.
And Diddy had lots of power. He had power, he had influence, and used all of it to garner more and to truly hurt people. He didn't care who he hurt. You can see it when you read the indictment. And he did it for long as well, you know?
For a long
time. And then
time,
fame
too.
is the last thing. Fame, you can't actually control, especially now. There are people that want to be very famous, and they might get there. And then there are people who don't mean to be famous at all. But then someone's just recording, and then a TikTok is made. Like,
right.
There are people who become famous overnight, and all they did was trip. That's too random.
Right.
Fame is the one that gets away from you. Money, you can decide how much money you want to keep, how much money you want to make, especially if you have the means to just be making boatloads of money. You can take a step back and be like, a lot of money is enough money. I don't need all the money. Power you wield, and power you can also give away. You can tell someone, I want to bring you in. I want to make you powerful as well, right? Fame, not really.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people that the industry has tried to make famous, and we were like, nah.
Shit, I can name a few of them. A few.
But people with power, people with money, they can promise fame, even if they can't deliver. And because they have so much money and so much power, it looks like they can give you fame. And so that's another way that Diddy manipulated and abused people, was through his fame and the promise of fame that was to come to them, right? And money, power, and fame is actually what screwed Diddy, not just his own. The fact that he finally met up with the U.S. government. No government is more powerful with more money or more famous.
Right.
And when you put the two up against each other, his is, money.
Yeah, preach,
money and power and fame of the U.S. government, the money that they have. You think you have money, they can freeze your money.
They can, which is crazy.
You can show up to court and they'll be like, oh, you broke.
That's scary, though, honestly.
Oh, I'm sorry. You thought you had money? Oh, I feel terrible for you. It must suck to be broke. They can freeze your accounts. Power? You want to talk about federal power? Mm-hmm. Look at the conviction rate of federal prosecutors. It's in the 90s for a reason. People either plead out or they're like, no, I'm going to be vindicated in court. And the U.S. government is like, I bet you won't. Fame? What government is more famous, especially as far as their judicial system? What government is more famous than the U.S. government? They looking at Diddy right now like, oh, you blew up Kid Cudi's car? That's cute.
That's cute.
We killed MLK.
Shoot, him, Malcolm X, who else? All the big, yeah. Mm-hmm. Shoot, even Kennedy too. Shoot, I believe so.
and Malcolm X.
I just said that. I just said that. I just said that. I just said that.
No, you're done, bro. No, it's over. Because I think about how's a person become that evil? You know what I mean? It's, a lot of it is ego. Ego's a dangerous thing. Ego is like a dish that only feeds you false fruit, right? Like the more that you eat off of your own ego, the more you starve your spirit. Like it's the way to sickness. You know?
That's a great analogy. That's a great analogy.
Like ego is this like still small voice, right? Telling you the most important thing is I. Like ego stands in like the middle of pride right there. But then when things happen, when consequence comes, ego never shows up.
It never.
Ego is like a friend. Ego's like a friend that's like, hey, come on, the door's unlocked. Let's get in this house. No, let's just see what's inside. There might be some good stuff in there. It's like, but it's not my house. Come on.
Come on.
Then ego gets you to go in there. And then you're like, oh, there's some shiny stuff. And then you start grabbing stuff. And then before you know it, you see blue and red lights. And you're like, come on, we got to get out. And ego's gone already. Like,
it's just you.
I think about how it got here, you know, and how many people Diddy hurt and why he was allowed to get away with it for so long. And I can't help but think that a lot of what he was allowed to get away with is because it happened to black women. You know what I mean? When people say protect black women, they don't mean that black women can't protect themselves. We mean that when you look at the stats and you look at who the powerful people hurt because they know that they can do it, it's the same people.
Yeah, I get it. They're easy to manipulate at times. I can definitely say that.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I hope Diddy gets life. And I hope he lives forever.
I like that. I hope he gets life and I hope he lives forever. That's funny. That's funny. Oh, that was it? Okay. Okay. You know what? Yo, okay, first of all, I want to apologize that I did not finish this up yesterday, the other day. But man, that was hilarious, man, for real. I really like the style, like the way that he gives you jokes, but also makes you think. Actually, I'm going to subscribe to him, man, for real, because he is hilarious, though. But yeah, I love the analogy he used as ego, because like the more you give yourself like false like information, the more you just like you don't even like try to bring in new information into yourself. Now, he also brings about the pride part. Now, there's good pride and bad pride. Like, I have pride in everything I do when it comes to, you know, jobs and, you know, doing this as far as like making YouTube videos. But it can come to a point where it's just it's too much, and then you just like don't do the, how can I say this? Do the more important things when it comes to, you know, your sleep, your health, and other aspects in your life. So there's good and bad pride, and then there's bad ego, in my opinion. Ego is never good at all. But yeah, anyways, if you guys really enjoyed this reaction today, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Let me know in the comment section down below what you want to react to next. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, my name is Russell, and I'll see you guys next episode. Peace!